Hey, Glock 45 here. You know, you guys have been after me to buy a 357 SIG for a long time. I regularly get requests to review one, buy one, or somehow show one and shoot it. I keep putting you off because I don't have a lot of need for one really with all the calibers I have, but just for you guys, I bought one, and here it is. How's that for a 357 SIG Glock? Actually, it's just the barrel, huh? But you know, many of you know, of course, especially if you're a 357 SIGger, you know that all you need to do to a 40 caliber basically is buy a barrel that is chambered for the 357 SIG, pop it in, and you're ready to go. It's unlike almost all the other conversions where you might need a new extractor, you might need different, well, you will need different magazines generally, you might even need a different ejector stuck in. With the 357 SIG barrel, I think both in the SIG firearm and in Glocks, all you need is the barrel. Now I have seen some information where, depending on the follower of the magazine, it might be more reliable, or you could have some minor issues occasionally if you have an older magazine. So notwithstanding all of that, generally you just need a magazine. Because it's the same size chamber, 357 SIG is, come on over here and take a look, basically is a 40 caliber round or case. You really can't tell the difference looking at the back of it. It's a neck down 40 Smith & Wesson basically. So neck down to 38, 9mm size. So that is what it looks like. It's a necked cartridge. That's another reason I've not gotten into it. It's a little more of an issue reloading it. And I shoot so much, I really like to reload most of what I shoot. So it's more expensive to shoot one of these calibers. So unless you just are driven to have a 357 SIG, there's not a lot of reason. The ammo is more expensive. Not quite like a 10mm or something, but still it's more expensive. It's a really hot little round. So anyway, let's put this in the gun. This is a 40 caliber. Here's a 40 caliber barrel I took out. So we're just going to pop in the 357 SIG barrel, and it's all the same size in terms of the outside dimensions. Seems to lock up, and it feels fine. This is an older This is an older Glock 23. It's a 40 Smith & Wesson is the caliber. That's why I got this. Is so old it still has the SW on the slide, even because that caliber was developed by Smith & Wesson. Glock has since quit putting the SW on there, and I understand that if you're going to shoot a lot of 357 SIGs in one of these, you want one that has the 3 pin, 2 pins right there, plenty of support, because it's a hot cartridge. And this is a 3-pin frame. It's got the pin here and then 2 there. So anyway, we're gonna try it out, 357 SIG. And guess what? I have not tried it. I shot TN Outdoors 9, had one years ago. I remember firing it a little bit, but I've not fired it. I thought, well, I just picked it up the other day on the way home and was wanting to try it, so I thought I'd invite you guys to the range, and we'll see how it goes. Make sure it works. And I have a couple of magazines loaded, so we'll just kind of experiment together, see what we think. Thing that I'm wondering about is point of aim, point of impact. Will shoot lower? I would expect it might have a lower point of impact. Probably have a different feel, won't it? So anyway, we'll experiment together and see, just as if you had picked one up for your Glock 23, and we'll find out together what happens here. All right. We better try something large to begin with. Feels okay on the large targets. There's that SIG cartridge, the necked cartridge in there. Feels okay. All right. Let's go out long range with a couple. All right, surprisingly enough, it actually shoots a little bit higher than the 40. Go figure. There might be a little more snap, a little more recoil, I don't know. Pulling the bullet up a little bit. I don't know, usually a faster, lighter bullet will impact lower. And I was having a little difficulty getting on that ram. I was actually shooting over it, I think, or then under it. I was trying to bracket a little bit. But yeah, seems to be either point of impact or maybe a little higher. And of course, this is, I don't know much about the SIG ammo. This is 124 grain Fiochi I picked up. That's all they had at the shop. And again, this stuff is not cheap. So I got 3 boxes of it. And we'll see again here. I think I shot over that gong on the first shot, and I was holding about the middle of it. So it does seem to be, which is fine with me. Once you figure out the point of impact on a gun, you know, you've won the battle there. Then it's just a matter of holding steady and getting a good trigger release. But on these closer targets, I'm not sure. It seemed like it was hitting pretty much right on, so I'll have to experiment a little bit here. But so far it's functioned fine, hasn't it? I just brought the barrel home. It was a used one. I mean, yeah, either that or someone just, I didn't buy it new. It was in the gun shop under the shelf, been there a while. Don't know why somebody sold it or traded it in. So let's try these 3 mags. Okay. With all the leaves down, it's hard to tell where, and there's no dust apparently, it's hard to tell where I'm missing on the animals when I do. So well, let's try again. We're up there on that pig at last row. And okay, interesting. Really shoots high. I'm gonna go out for the gong. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Let me try this last mag here. Has a lot of blast and different kind of recoil. It doesn't push you hard or anything, but it's got a, I guess, kind of a snappy recoil. Kind of a strange recoil. I have to shoot a little bit more before I'm really sure. In some ways it doesn't seem like it has as much recoil as the 40. In other ways it seems to be snappier in a way, or just has more blast, which of course it would. It has a lot more velocity. But it works, and that was my experience with it. Again, I just brought the barrel home, popped it in there, and the magazines, these are 40 Smith & Wesson magazines, so I haven't changed anything else out at all, and this is an older Glock, just barely into the 3-pin models, I would think. Seems to be okay. You know what, let's load one more mag. I just need to shoot a little bit more. I just love to shoot. It's been a long day, harassing little kids all day in the classroom. I think I want to enjoy another magazine here. Okay. Nothing like the recreation of shooting. Kind of like the old days when I played basketball. Just fun to get the ball in your hand and go shoot some baskets. It's the same way with a firearm or with shooting. You get on the shooting range, it's just hard to stop. I'm kind of doing an experiment here, just kind of a first test on this barrel, but you know, I still can't stop shooting. So let's just play a little bit more. So much fun. Glocks function so well, and most semi-automatics function so well these days. I'm just going to go down there again, and I think I missed a couple of targets on that last little bit of playing I did. So let's just play some more. Put them in the holster, got an extra mag. See if I can knock some more of that yellow paint off. Did I hit that gong on the last shot? I don't think I did I? That means I need to load a couple more rounds. I was going to end with one shot on the gong. There we go. I heard that familiar ring. So 357 SIG, kind of a test there. It is a Glock 23 again. Probably call this video 357 SIG Glock. You know, I know some people, oh, it's not a 357 SIG, it was a Glock 23, you're lying to us. But I'll probably call it a Glock 357 SIG or something so people know what the heck it is. It's a different caliber, a different Glock. So anyway, and by the way, this is the Glock, I believe the Glock 32 in this size. You know, it's the exact same gun, just chambered for the 357 SIG. So 23, 32, same gun basically, different caliber, different barrel, and glad you could come by this evening and watch and have a little fun with me. Life's good.